All right, let's talk Great Wolf Lodge. If you have yet to go to Great Wolf Lodge, this video is going to be really useful for you. If you've been before, maybe there'll be a few tips and tricks that you didn't think of last time. What is Great Wolf Lodge? It's an indoor water park that is attached to a hotel. So you can stay the night or nights, and you can go to the water park every single day and tire your kids out and get a good night's rest. Depending on where you live, it will be all indoors, or maybe you'll have part indoor, part outdoor. I usually go to the one in Mason, Ohio, which is all indoor, and so my experience will reflect that particular hotel. So when do you book? You are going to hands down get the best rate by booking during a sale. They have multiple sales throughout the year, and I'm very, very good about posting the ones that they have that are 40% off or 30% off. Even though I don't book it, I do post about the sale because I know, quite frankly, a lot of my demographic of parents will be taking their kids to Great Wolf Lodge. So I always want to make sure you know how to maximize your savings on vacations or staycations, whatever it might be. Booking during a sale is very important. Their rack rate is really expensive. You can spend for a base room $400 a night. Now, your room does cover your hotel, of course, for the night, as well as your water park entrance ticket. So you will have a band, you have to have a certain color band to be able to go to the water park, etc. And so obviously, if you think about the price that it would cost to take your kids to a water park for the day and a hotel, it does make sense, but you can definitely get it for way cheaper. I will tell you, I never ever spend more than $119 per night on a room at Great Wolf Lodge. I don't do it because I know that that's definitely the rate that I can normally get. So how do I get that rate? Well, I always go for the base room category. I have a family of 4, so I can easily fit into a 2-queen room. The standard room is 2 queens, and then there is a pull-out couch. I think that you can probably have 6 in there. Double check, of course, when you're booking, but I definitely think you can have more than 4 because there is that pull-out option. And so for me, I always just go with the basic room. They do have really, really nice, fun rooms that have bunk beds and forts and all this and the other. I just don't think it's necessary. So maybe if you're celebrating a birthday or something like that where you really want to go all out, but quite frankly, I think the kids are going to be so tired out from the water park and all the extras that they can do there that you can save the money on that, especially considering that sometimes it's or hundreds of dollars more per night to have a really fancy room. Maybe if it's less than $30 a night, $40 a night, it might be worth it. Of course, your budget is different than my budget, so you decide on that. But realistically, I can tell you your kids conk out when they hit that pillow, and then they sleep very well through the night. There's not going to be much going on in that room. So where do I get this good rate? You have to avoid weekends. If you choose to go on a weekend, which 95% of parents who have school-age children are going to pick a weekend, then you're of course going to be spending a lot more money on that weekend. That's their prime time, right? They're going to charge more for that. So you might be able to get the same room over a weekend. The base room during a sale, maybe it's going to cost you $200, $250. If you can go on a Sunday through a Thursday, that's when you're going to get the sale. So obviously that does mean that your child's missing school. But if you can manage it with missing school for just one day, then maybe that's worth it for you to be able to have such a big savings. If you homeschool, amazing, right? Okay, so how do you maximize this time? So when we go, we have a 2-hour drive from Indianapolis to Cincinnati. So we will pick a Sunday night, Monday night, whatever it might be, and we will drive in the morning of, if we're staying Sunday night, we'll drive Sunday morning. We'll get there by noon. We will take the kids to the pool. They'll do all afternoon at the pool, and then we'll check into our room. We'll have the night, and we will go all day the next day and drive home that afternoon. So for us, we can do one night and really get 2 days of pool day. Now keep in mind your age groups, right? So I have 2 kids. I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. My 3-year-old and 6-year-old really can't last more than 5 hours at the park, probably max. And so for us, we can get 2 full days by doing it that way. If you have older kids, if you have middle schoolers who of course don't nap and can go all day, then you really might want to look into making that a 2 or 3 day trip. But if you have little kids, you can definitely turn this into a really cheap vacation by just doing 1 or maybe 2 nights. Obviously, it's up to you how far you live from the location and if you're willing to drive after being so tired yourself, because parents, it's exhausting. Okay, so what do you bring with you? Well, obviously you bring swimsuits. Bring more than one swimsuit. This is the biggest rookie mistake you can probably make, and that's just bringing one swimsuit. You are going to go swimming multiple times. So you might do morning, stop and have lunch, maybe get changed, maybe go do something, come back and swim again. And so you don't want to have that wetsuit. So definitely bring more than one suit per person. That's huge. Bring snacks. Bring as many snacks as you think you want. Bring food items. This sounds silly, but I will pack a cooler and I will have milk in mason jars. I'll have cereal ready to go in Tupperware containers. I will save money with that. And that's a huge thing, I think, when you're going on a trip, is that if you can find ways to save money, it makes the cost of the trip a lot easier. So bring snacks, bring as much as you want. Bring alcohol. That's okay. So if you want to bring beer, if you want to bring White Claws, if you want to bring a bottle of wine, whatever it might be, obviously I wouldn't suggest drinking that while you're watching your kids while they're at the pool, but I definitely would if you think you're somebody that would want a nightcap, save the money by, instead of buying it at the restaurant where you're going to get a beer for $7, bring, a 6-pack with you and have that in your room. So that's definitely something. There is a mini fridge in each of your rooms, so you will have the ability to keep that stuff cold there, but that's just a way to save money. And then if you are a coffee fanatic like me, think about bringing coffee for the morning. They do have like a mini a coffee maker in the room, but it's not that great of coffee. And I would just say like a Frappuccino, a Starbucks one or something like that, or if you have a Keurig and you're really intense about it. But their Dunkin' Donuts doesn't open, I feel like, until 8. It's fairly late, I think, for people that have little kids. And then the water park doesn't open until, I believe, 10. And so there's definitely, in my family at least, we have early risers. And so we definitely find that we have some downtime in the mornings. And so coffee is something that I always wish that I had earlier than usually I can get it. So what should you buy extra while you're there? So they're going to try to sell you different tiers of like activities. It's like a pup club or something like that. And basically it is a kids pass, and they have a few different styles or types. So they'll have this wand game that you have, like this Harry Potter kind of wand, and you'll go around to different parts around the resort, so around the hotel portion. You'll scan your wand and then there'll be some sort of interactive experience. I think if you have a kid who is a Harry Potter fan or who would find that kind of interaction cool, it's definitely not a little kid. I think you're in, upper grade school to actually be able to experience it, then that might be worth it. There are other things that will include, they have like a Build-A-Bear workshop, they have a spa there, like a kid's spa, they have a candy shop, and they have a Dippin' Dots. And so there are some packages that will include all of that. I really would tell you that be the strict parent that says, we're here to go swim, we're here to, have some pizza and have fun, but we don't need all these extras. If it's going to make your trip, or if you're there for a longer trip, it might be worth it because your kids are just going to be nagging the whole time. But if you're there for just a short trip, I definitely think you can save some money by not doing any of it. Okay. Towels. Their towels are really small and you have to rent them out. You can only get like one per person usually. Sometimes they'll be lax on it. But I would say if you have, concerns about having a really small towel that's not going to necessarily cover your body completely, don't be afraid to bring beach towels from home that will cover you and give you the modesty that maybe you're looking for once you get out of the pool. Toys. You cannot bring beach and pool toys there. So don't think that you're going to bring balls and things to go dive for. You can't have that. They will take them away from you. We've experienced it firsthand and had a very upset toddler. So if you have little kids, just remember that you can't bring it with you because it's more of a hassle than it is a fun thing. Food. The food and beverages there are very expensive. Pizza is the only thing that is, I think, very fairly priced. And so getting a full pizza is a really good deal. I would say definitely plan on that for lunch. It's really good pizza. Think like bowling alley Noble Romans maybe. And so I think it's really good. And I think the kids like it. Maybe $25 for a full pizza. I think that's a very fair price for what you're getting. Other than that, the actual restaurants, for the quality of food and what you're getting, it's just not worth it. So I would say besides getting pizza for lunch, definitely think about either ordering something in or going off property to go eat. There's no harm in that. You don't have to pay for parking or anything. So I would say easily get out and go get your food. At nighttime, one of the things that my 6-year-old loves the most is story time. So this is something definitely not to mix. Throughout the day, they have times that are designated for character meets. So they have a slew of maybe 6 or so characters that are Great Wolf Lodge ambassadors, and you can meet those characters at certain times in the main lobby. They rotate them out, which is really nice, so you could get to see multiple characters. So if you are interested in characters, make sure that you ask about the time schedule, which they will give to you. But at nighttime, they have story hour. It's at maybe 8 o'clock, and they have this big tower in the middle of every Great Wolf Lodge. There's some interactive kind of programming that happens, and then there is a events coordinator that will come out and read a story, and she brings some of the characters, or at least one character that is in that story, to be there with her while she reads the book. And so all the kids sit on the floor and they teach you the Great Wolf Howl, and you get to do that as a family, and it's really fun to see the kids interact. Everybody wears their pajamas when they go down there. Parents, like me, might have a beverage while they're watching their child do that, because it's been a really long day, and you will experience that. So definitely don't miss out on that, especially if you have, I would say, a third grade or below children. They're going to really want to do that, and they're going to enjoy it. And then other than that, the only thing to keep in mind is that it is exhausting. This is definitely a location to go to when you have help, when you are not a single parent taking care of multiple kids in multiple demographics. I would say if you do not have 2 adults going for more than one child, that you would definitely think about pairing up with another adult. So if you are a single parent, I would think about pairing up with another single parent or a grandparent who is physically able to help you, especially if you have more than one kid. I have 2 in 2 different age groups. One wants to do slides, the other wants to hang out in the little sprinkly area. So we have to split and divide. There was one time I was there, and my husband does snow removal. He had to come back to Indianapolis, and I actually had my mother-in-law come up, and we tag teamed it together because I was stuck on a nursing kid at that time, and I really couldn't give my other one the attention she deserved. And so I would definitely think about ensuring that you do have 2 adults for every 2 or so kids at age demographic, of course, keeping that in mind. Other than that, it's a great experience, and if you can get the cost right, it's so worth it. That is the best $120 or so you could ever spend for a full day and night of activities with your kids, hands down. So think about when you could go to maximize time. Also know that anytime you're going during a break from school, the prices are going to be astronomical. You have to get these sales, and you have to book during a certain window. So if I post about them, definitely make sure you book while that window is open so you can get the best rate, because you don't want to spend $300 for a room that you could get for $100 if you had just booked during a promotion. So Sundays through Thursdays, get those promos, bring your snacks, and bring your good attitude, because it's a long day and you're going to need it. Take care.